Hi, I'm Sister Unity, and I'd like to talk to you about countering evil. What do I mean by evil? First of all, I do not mean human beings who make mistakes, who err, or who sin. I do not mean people who do bad things not intending to cause harm, or who lose their minds briefly and cause harm and then regret it or repent it. These things can even be forgivable. These things can certainly be understandable. These are mistakes. What I'm talking about are people who purposefully, intentionally cause harm, suffering to other people, either because they like to, or it is immaterial to them that suffering and harm has been caused because they're after some benefit and they don't care how they get it. They don't care about the consequences of their acts. One of these types of evil is psychopathy or sociopathy, where a person enjoys the cruelty that they cause, that they uh, from which they behave, from which they make their choices. They enjoy power, control, manipulation, dominance. They enjoy watching suffering, and they manipulate things to be able to cause suffering. This is evil. The other kind is people who are opportunistic or who plan and plot, but what they're after is they want to get what they want and they don't care who it hurts. Perhaps it's the leader of a country who scapegoats a huge section of their country's citizenry in order to make themselves seem right and righteous and to have the constituents who they think will appreciate this message vote for them or put them in power or keep them in power. Hitler was this way. He scapegoated the Jews. He said, all of your troubles, all these economic woes, these horrible Jews are dragging our society down. If we just get rid of them, everything will be better. He caused immeasurable suffering and ignited immeasurable cruelty in order to maintain power. One could conjecture that he was honestly a sociopath and had a sociopathic enjoyment of the cruelty and suffering he caused to the Jewish population, the LGBT population, the Roma population, and others in Germany who were imprisoned, tortured, and murdered. How do we fight such darkness, such insidious, organized evil? Whether it is a bully at school or whether it is a government, you fight it by standing up and speaking the truth and doing good and doing what is right and encouraging other people to do the same. It is that simple, and you do it over and over again, and you commit to doing it until you are unable to do it any longer or until the danger has passed. I'm talking a total commitment to stand up for what is right. How many Americans laid down their lives, offered and sacrificed their lives to fight the evil of Hitler? How many Canadians, Australians, British, French, Russian, Chinese, Indian, African, people from all over the world offered their lives to confront the evil of Hitler, the evil of the generals who wanted to make war in Japan, and the evil of Mussolini in Italy. on your own local level. You may not be a soldier, but you can stand up on social media, in your neighborhood, in your school. You can stand up and say, no, this is not right. This is right. We must go here. We must stop this. And be prepared to figure out strategies of how to make that happen. One good way is find the people who agree with you and are also willing to stand up and say, this is not right, this is right. Also, do what it takes to get yourself centered and prepared to fight the good fight. Music can be so encouraging. There are protesters in Hong Kong who are fighting for democracy for their small city, and they have just written a Hong Kong national anthem. It's to encourage them and use the power of music to inspire them and stir their spirit to continue their struggle. Communist China had songs to continue their struggle to break free from what they perceived as an oppressive regime before they came to power. The Bolsheviks had the same thing. The Yankees had the same thing in the American Civil War. The Confederates had the same thing in the American Civil War. Music has been used. The Battle Hymn of the Republic is an American example. The national anthem is an example. Music has been the soul of movements seeking to change the world for the better. There are songs like We Shall Overcome that was used by unionists in the early 20th century, and then protesters against the Vietnam War in the middle and late 20th century. Music can inspire you to do the right work, and it can inspire a whole group together to continue a struggle, to stand up and do what's right. The civil rights movement in America used spirituals, hymns, and protest songs to lift their spirits and inspire their courage in their struggle. What will your song be? May I recommend Randy Rainbow? Music, finding the other people who agree with you and are willing to work by your side. Whether you organize, find an organization to volunteer with, or create one of your own in your neighborhood, in your house, in your city, in your school, in your country, in your state, or whether you just go on social media and debate, make your voice heard. Stand up and say, here is a citizen that says, no more of this. This is what's right. Because if there are enough voices pushing, even evil has to pay attention. How do you stop evil? By standing up to it, by stopping it. Think of the man who stood in front of the tanks that were coursing into Beijing to contribute to the slaughter of the protesting citizens who wanted democracy and had taken Tiananmen Square for a peaceful sit-in. Think of that one person with plastic shopping bags standing in front of a column of tanks. One person can stand up to evil. And if each of us take this lesson to heart and stand up to evil and speak up to evil, evil eventually realizes it will not win the day. And evil is self-centered, and evil will back down. Evil is not going to sacrifice itself for the greater principle of what? Power, greed, cruelty? It's not built that way. You may have heard the phrase, the banality of evil. The banality of evil is that evil doesn't understand itself, and it does not understand good, and it does not understand the tenaciousness with which good will fight. Good may even be weaker than evil, but good will continue the fight against evil until evil goes away. Evil doesn't understand that. So take courage from this and do the right thing and continue to do the right thing. My advice is stand up to evil using non-violent techniques. I do not believe that violence against evil, against violence, is the best course. It does take hard sacrifice. Gandhi freed an entire nation, one of the most populous nations on earth, without firing weapons, without beating people. Martin Luther King freed Black Americans from segregation and the horrors of Jim Crow without firing a shot and without beating people. Black Americans have been one of the most physically, violently abused populations in the world, and he garnered them safety and rights without resorting to violence. Evil exposed is like a vampire in the sunshine. The majority of the populace will turn against it once they see how awful it really is. Most people are good, and if you can give them enough of the right information and show them enough of the truth, they will do the right thing. That's why exposure, clarity, truth, sunlight on evil is one of the most powerful ways to counter it. Help get information about the truth, about what evil is doing and how it's doing it, to as many people as you can. That's another way to fight evil. Those are my lessons. That's as much as I know. There are other people who know far more than I. Do your reading, do your research, find out what people have done in history, and learn from them. Now I am going to chant some very ancient Hindu mantras called the Gayatri mantras to give us courage, wisdom, and strength to stand up to evil, to support dharma in the world, right action, justice, goodness, kindness, rightness. I'm going to chant the mantras to Ganesh, the Lord of Obstacles, who removes obstacles from your path and blesses your journey. To Sri Krishna, who sacrificed much to maintain the integrity of truth and dharma in this age of the world. To Saraswati, that she will help you to find the right wisdom and the right words for your struggle. And lastly, Gayatri mantras to the Guru, the principle of turning from darkness to light, that your struggles may have grace, and that they may be suffused with the principle and the transformation of going from darkness to light. You may close your eyes and listen. Try to drink in the sounds, even if they seem of obscure meaning. Just the vibration of the sound may help your mind be strong and calm. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Om. 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 Ekadantaya vidmahe Vakratundaya dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayata. Om Devakinandanaya vidmahe Vasudevaya dhimahi Tanna Shri Krishna Prachodayata. Om Saraswatiye vidmahe Brahmaputraye dhimahi Tanna Saraswati Prachodayata. Om Niranjanaya vidmahe Nirvikalpaya dhimahi Tanna Sadguru Prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. During your struggle, check in with yourself. See how you're feeling. Take care of yourself. Center yourself. Eat well. Sleep well. If you are upset, if you are disturbed by things you experience in the struggle, write about them, draw about them, talk to someone about them. This is maintenance, and it's good and important because it helps you to be able to go back into your struggle for right with a clear head and a strong heart. So do take care of yourself. And remember, I'm here fighting with you, and a lot more of us are right here ready to help and fighting too. May Dharma be protected in our country. May Dharma be protected in the world. May our leaders practice Dharma. May our leaders be kind. May our leaders always do what is best for all people. May they act from compassion. May evil fade from its day in the sun and recede and learn and stop doing evil. May good prevail.